Hello guys, you're watching Tech Sifu, and as usual, we are in this video trying to push the limits of Microsoft Excel. We will learn three important graphs that you'll find very useful in your visualizations. We'll learn how to simulate a bottle fill graph. For example, if I fill 75%, 60%, we will learn how to create this kind of chart. This is not a standard chart that comes in Microsoft Excel. We will also learn how to create a thermometer chart. For example, is it 20% fill, 75% fill, or 100% fill? Lastly, we'll learn how to create a status chart. You can call it a status chart or a brick chart. Different people have different names for it. For example, 10%, 30%, so on and so forth. We will learn how to create different variations of these charts so that you can create different chart types of your own. So let's not waste time and start this video. For this, I'll open a new Excel sheet, and first chart that we'll be creating is called bottle chart. We'll rename this sheet as bottle. In order to create this chart, we'll need a bottle infographic or a bottle shape. We will leverage Microsoft PowerPoint to create this shape. So I'll just quickly go to Microsoft PowerPoint. Here I'll go to insert shapes, and then I'll insert the shape over here. Okay, now we'll play and create this shape over here. So I'll leverage the shape over here. And I'll be creating a very rudimentary bottle icon or a bottle shape just for the sake of our video. Now we see that our bottle shape is almost ready. What we'll do is we'll select everything, we'll go to format shape, and then we'll make it a union of all the shape. Okay, now this represents a single shape. Okay, now another thing that I need to do is go ahead to shapes and create a rectangle shape here. Let me just, for the time being, color it differently so that I can identify between these shapes. And I'll bring the borders of this shape as close as possible. Okay. Now the last thing that I need to do is select the rectangle first and then select this bottle. I'll go to format shape and then click on subtract. Okay, now my bottle shape is ready. I can go ahead and copy this here into our Microsoft Excel. As you see that this shape, the purpose was to create a blank or a transparent background of bottle, and I'll make you learn how and why we'll be using this. Okay, for now I'll just color it as white with I'll let the border be as is. Now we'll just go and create data for this chart. Okay, we'll just, let's say randomly, we'll start off with 50% and we'll say that max of our chart can go to 100. Okay, now I'll go to insert all charts and I'll select this clustered series chart and click OK. I'll just do away with all the axes, grid lines, legends. Okay. Now what I'll do here is I'll copy this shape, select and copy this shape, then select the series 2 and then paste it over here. Okay. Now this shape is ready. Now what we also need to do is right click here and click on format chart area. Once we click on format chart area, we need to select our series 2 and we'll say that series 2 overlaps 100% with series 1, and we'll just say this for the time being as 30 so that we can drag it and fill it here. Okay, if you want you can make it as 10% as well so that when you shrink it, it becomes appropriate shape. Now the last thing that I need to do is click on this axis and click on more and then click this option over here. You need to select vertical axis from here. You'll get the minimum and the maximum bounds here. So I'll just select 0 and 100 since 100 is our max value. Okay. And I'll delete this. Now you see that our basic chart is ready. I'll click 10, 20, 100. Our entire bottle is full. We can format it. We see that now there's a line that doesn't look good. So what we'll do is we'll click on shape fill, just maybe color it as gray, and outline we'll say as no outline. We'll select this again and paste it here. Okay. Now looks much better. Okay. You can play around with colors as well. Let's say you don't want the gray color, you can just simply put it white and then paste it again over here. And as you see here, the challenge with white is that you'll not be able to visualize that it's a bottle. Okay. So I'll let a tinge of gray be over here so that we can visualize it as a bottle. Okay. Now I'll just go to view grid lines and remove our grid lines. Our chart is now ready. We can just say test our values. Let's say 75% and our bottle is 75% filled. Now the last thing that you see here is the chart area legend over here. So we need to remove this axis. Okay, and this is how you create a bottle graph. Do let me know if you have any problems creating or following up the steps. I'll be glad to answer. Alright, now that we have learned the bottle graph, let's try to create the thermometer chart. Again, we'll leverage Microsoft PowerPoint to create the thermometer infographic for us. We'll go to Microsoft PowerPoint here, go to a different sheet. Again, we'll go to shapes and create this circular rectangular box. We will make sure that the edges are slightly rounded. Now we'll insert a circle over here. Now this resembles somewhat as a thermometer. We'll go ahead and make this shape as union so that it becomes one shape. Now we'll go and add another shape over here, a rectangle. For sake, I'll just color it something different and send it to back. Okay, now we see that our thermometer can fit this rectangle. Make sure that the borders are narrow and almost touching with slight margin. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll click this rectangle first and then click the inner thermometer first. Second, go to merge shape and click on subtract. Now we see that our thermometer infographic is almost ready. We have an outer boundary with an inner transparent thermometer section. Now what we also need to do is create the markers. So we'll go here, insert shape, and this time we'll insert a rectangular box over here, and we'll try to make it a little thin and drag it a little inside so that it gives an effect of a marker. Okay, now we'll select this our shape first and then we'll select this rectangle, click on merge shape and then click subtract. Okay, so this is how we've created our first marker. Similarly, we'll go and create markers over here, 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 here. You can create as many markers as you want. Okay, so I'll create a marker over here just to signify the 25% mark, and I'll create a marker over here to signify the 75% mark. Okay, now I'll select this, go to shape format, click on this, subtract. Similarly, I'll select this shape and then subtract, and I'll select this shape and then subtract. Now our thermometer shape is ready. We'll copy this infographic into our Excel sheet. For folks wondering why I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint for creating this infographic, as Microsoft Excel also provides the option to create shapes over here. Now you can create shapes here, but the only challenge with my here is that Microsoft Excel does not provide the option to merge or subtract shape, and that is why I'm using PowerPoint. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll copy this graph for the sake of simplicity and put it over here. Okay, now I'll go to format, shape fill as no or as white, and then shape outline as, let's say, blue. Click this here and paste it over here. Now you see that our thermometer chart is also ready. We can just say value as 20, 25, 30, 100, so on and so forth, and our thermometer chart fills up the value as is. Alright, now time for our third and the last graph type, which is in turn a different variation of the same graph. What we'll do is we'll create a brick graph or a status progress graph, as you may want to call it. For that, again, we'll go back to Microsoft PowerPoint. We'll try to insert shapes over here. For this, we'll insert 10 rectangular boxes. We just copy, and don't worry about the alignment right now. We'll align them later. We have 10 rectangles ready. We'll go ahead and select everything. We'll go to shape format, align center, and then distribute vertically. We see that the gap between the rectangles is too much, so what we'll do is we'll push the lower rectangle slightly up. Again, we'll go to shape format and then distribute vertically. Okay, now again what we'll do is we'll go to shapes. We'll insert a rectangle box over here. Again, I'll color it differently so that I can identify this rectangle box and then send it to back. I will try to also adjust the thickness, the side margins looks okay to me right now, and leave them as is. Now what I do is I'll select this outer rectangle and the inner rectangle second, and then click on subtract. Similarly, I'll press Ctrl and select the other rectangle, click subtract, and then I'll do this for similarly for all the other rectangles as well. The idea is to have these rectangles as a transparent background so that they look like brick. Copy this and again paste it on our Excel. I'll go to shape format, shape fill, and I'll fill this as white, and I'll let the color be as is. Again, I'll copy this graph. What you can do is you can either create from scratch the same clustered graph that we created, or you can just copy paste this graph. While pasting, what you have to keep in mind is that you have to select the inner graph area and then paste it, otherwise it will paste as an image on the graph. You see that our brick graph is now ready. We can just say 10%, 20%, 35%, 100%. Now it is ready and you can visualize it. Do let me know if you have any other variations in mind. You can go ahead and create any shape and paste it as a clustered graph. The Microsoft Excel will do the magic for you. Do let me know if you created any other variations in this uh, graph type. Thank you for watching this video.